Hello friends, in this video you will be learning all about the structural members. The structural members are slab, beam, column, footing and staircase. So this video will help you to understand the concept behind all the structural members. So let's start now. First let's discuss what is footing. Footing is a substructural member. The column transfers the complete superstructural load to the footing. This is the substructure and this is the superstructure. Above ground, whatever the structure is there, that is called superstructure, and below ground, the structure is called substructure. Footing will not be seen since it is located below ground, but it takes all the superstructure load. So it has to be safely designed in order to carry all the superstructure load, and it has to transfer safely to the soil. So that is the main purpose of the footing. Footing is mainly predominant by two-way shear or punching shear, one-way shear and bending moment. These three are the major important factors which we need to consider while designing the footing. Two-way shear is mainly depend on the depth of the footing. Now let me explain you about punching shear or two-way shear. As we all know that column is a concentrated load which is resting on footing. Imagine a piece of paper. If you place a pen vertically on the piece of paper and if you apply some pressure on the pen, what happens? The pen tends to pierce through the paper. Similarly, the shear strength of the column exceeds the shear strength of the structural member which is resting. Concentrated load is resting on the footing. So the shear strength of the column exceeds the shear strength of the footing. Then what happens? That fails in shear. The structural member footing will fails in shear and the column pierces through the footing. Two-way shear takes place in two directions simultaneously. In two-way shear, the critical section is located at a distance d by 2 from the face of the column. So here what is d? D is the depth of the footing. So this is the depth of the footing. First we have to assume this depth of the footing and then we have to check the two-way shear. If it passes the two-way shear, then we have to go ahead with the depth whatever we have assumed. If it is not passing, then we have to increase the depth of the footing and then again we have to go for the calculation. So from the face of the column, all the direction it is d by 2. So this perimeter we need to consider while calculating the two-way shear. So it is very simple. The concentrated load is resting on the flat surface, that is footing. So if the shear strength of the concentrated load exceeds the shear strength of the footing, then the footing will fail in shear. It will not hold the column. The column will pierce through the footing. You can even imagine that whatever I have told before, instead of paper, you just take a cardboard which is more thicker. If you apply some pressure on the pen, then that will not pierce through the cardboard. It has some thickness to resist the pressure from the pen. So the same action is happening in this footing also. So this you have to understand very clearly. Next let's discuss about one-way shear. So here you can see that one-way shear is acting in only one direction, whereas the two-way shear takes place in two directions simultaneously, but one-way shear takes place in only one direction. So this is the critical section for one-way shear. One-way shear takes place at a distance of d from the face of the column. So this section is the critical section for one-way shear. This perimeter we need to consider while calculating the one-way shear. Again here d is the depth of the footing. This d we need to consider. Next one is bending moment. The critical section for bending moment is at the face of the column. So this you have to remember. Critical section for bending moment is located at the face of the column. So here the question comes, why the critical section is at the face of the column? Because if you see this picture, you can come to know whenever the load is applied on the footing, the column load is applied on the footing bent like this. So it looks like a double cantilever. You can see if you turn upside down, so it will behave like a double cantilever beam. So this will act as a support, and this side is also cantilever, this side is also cantilever. The same way footing also behaves. So that is why the maximum bending moment is more at the support. So the bending moment is more at the face of the column since it is a cantilever. So that is why the critical section is located at the face of the column for footing. So in order to resist this bending moment, we have to provide the reinforcement like this, like a mat. So in the image you can see this is how the footing reinforcement will be provided. So to resist that bending moment, we have to provide the reinforcement. Next let's look into the type of footing. Mainly there are two types of foundation. One is shallow foundation and another one is deep foundation. In shallow foundation, we will be having isolated footing, combined footing, sloped footing, trapezoidal footing, strap footing, and mat footing. So these are all the types of footings we have in shallow foundation. In deep foundation, we'll be having the pile foundation. In pile foundation, there are two types, end-bearing pile and friction pile. This is the another type of deep foundation. This one is called caisson foundation or well foundation. In this also there are three types. First one is open caisson, second one is box caisson, and third one is pneumatic caissons.